So we are 3 minutes over, so I guess we can begin. Lee won't be joining us today. He's a bit unwell because he pulled his back. So we'll start off. Akshat, have you joined this call before, or is this your first time on the website's call?
No problem. I have joined the call before as well.
So since we don't have any newcomers this week, let's go ahead with our topics. Shubham, you're up first. Would you like to discuss?
Yeah, sure. Can you see my screen? Can you all see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Yeah. Okay. So initially, when I started working on Navbar, I just wanted to change this pointer. This, I didn't like this. Like personally, I didn't like this pointer, cursor pointer. So when I started working on it, so I tried and experimenting other things as well. So the first thing which I changed was this cursor pointer. So I felt that this looked more like a bit better than the previous one. I don't know about it, but like I felt that it looked better. Then the other thing that I changed was when like in resources, when we go on this contributing page, so here we have here the links are open in the other tab, right? So this is also the docs link also is of the docs.meshi.io. So I thought of adding I thought of like opening it in other page as well. So this is the second thing that I did. The other thing that I did was like when we go on programs page, right? So uh, in the nav bar we don't see the programs page again. So that I don't know. Like I thought of adding it. Then I did this that when we are on the community, like the link is community, then and the sublink is program, right? So the community is highlighted when we are on it. Like for example, if we are on the blog, so the blog will be highlighted. So those were all the changes that I did. So maybe I could remove some, but I would like to listen what are the reviews, like what else could be done.
Does anyone want to say anything? Any views? Yeah, so the icon on top of the docs, like on top of docs, it's looking a bit out of place, I feel.
Yeah.
So maybe we could just keep it like it is. The rest of the changes look good. Yeah, they make sense. Uh, okay, so when you go to community and you go to programs, the programs is gone from the drop down, right?
Yes. Right.
Yeah,
So
so
should it be there or not?
yeah, it should be there.
Okay. So I will like reward that.
Yeah, so yeah, and I don't think the icon goes on top of the docs. Like it's looking a
Yeah,
bit this.
yeah. I thought of it. Yeah.
And does anyone want to say anything? Does anyone like it? It just might be my opinion.
I just experimented some changes, so we could remove like any like I just experimented through.
All right. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah. So program should be there, and yeah, let's remove the external
I
icon.
icon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. And the docs are opening in a different tab, right? So is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Doc
Okay.
should open on another tab.
Okay. Mhm. Okay.
I think next topic was also yours, right? You can just keep going.
Yeah. So like when I was going through the website, so yeah, so yeah, when we are on the service mesh interface conformance, so I thought that this is a bug. I didn't knew that this was a feature that we implemented because I didn't see this hover for details for of test failures, right? I didn't see this, so that I posted on Slack, and there were some nice reviews. Like uh, in what we could have done is like we have done it already in this page. Like we have a legend in below the table. which is describing like what each symbol is doing, like this. So there was a proposal like from everyone like that we could do this for this page as well. Yeah. So
Yeah, I agree. I think like the tooltip. Yeah, people might get confused with just looking at the tooltip. If you hover on the cross, it has some like there's a big tooltip, right?
yeah, but what I felt that when we hover over it, so the like the details like they are like 2 to 3 seconds, 1 to 2 seconds they are late a bit. Like
Mm.
when you like go past it, then we don't see anything. Like it's a bit late. Like when you stay over it, then we can see the details
Yeah, yeah. I think we should add a legend.
below it.
Yeah, below it. Does anyone want to add something? Like, you guys think there should be a legend below it? Nikhil, is there a reason there? Like, is there a particular reason that there is not a legend below it, or?
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to know.
No, I'm not sure exactly. Like even the table that we have on layer5.io, it was added by Dhruv, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I think Dhruv added it, and if hopefully the same has been added on Messi.io by him as well, or might be Navendu.
No, I think it was Dhruv. Yeah, but there's no legend here, and there's a legend there.
So that I'm not sure why that has been done, but I guess that's a miss. Though we don't have, okay, we have hover action in layer5.io.
Yeah.
So yeah, adding a legend would do. Another thing being there is the pointer change for green tick is not there on the table in on Meshi.io.
And
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's right.
yeah,
So do fix that as well when you take a look
Uh,
on that.
we have here like undefined all this class.
The tooltip is there, but the pointer change is not there.
Okay, okay. Yeah, right.
So another thing I was just going through the deploy preview for your another PR, the one in which you made changes to the navbar. So there's there are some changes to the links which have happened. I see. Like if you go to that preview link,
Okay, so this PR or the preview.
preview, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this is,
If you hover on resources,
yeah,
the first is service mesh interface conference site,
right, right.
but that is going out to service mesh pattern.
Okay.
The link has changed somehow. I'm not sure. You can take a look.
Yeah, so yes, I changed it because there was some classes already implemented in the code. So it was not like applying those classes on like it was not highlighting resources because the link was SMI, and in the YAML file we have like the link which was mentioned the service match patterns, then it was redirecting it to SMI. Something like that was happening there. Like I'm not remembering it right, but there was something SMI to service match patterns. There was something there. That should be changed as well.
yeah.
So
So
the thing is, the link should be same as what the text is. If we need to show both service mesh pattern, then that should be added as well. But it shouldn't be conflicting with the name that is mentioned. That is
Okay, so
service mesh pattern should point out to service mesh pattern and service mesh interface conference should point out to
okay, so
service.
link will be having the same like service mesh interface conformance, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay. I will be changing that as well.
and don't add service mesh patterns for now. That's supposed to be hidden. It's just like an initial commit so that other people can also start working on this.
Okay, okay.
So yeah.
So,
Just I want to ask one thing. As you have opened the service mesh patterns, you have omitted the option of service mesh performance in the resources. That one, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was my mistake. I guess I will make it. I will
Okay,
do it.
okay. No, I think that's something your creation. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I also wanted to know like in here in a meeting, like I guess it was on November 1st. Yes, so here there was a bulleted list of other talks and presentation also need to be like they also decided that we would like add some other talks and presentations as well. So I was not sure it like those will have the same design as this we have here, or there would be a list as such.
Um, yeah, I think the what we initially decided was we would show just like two of these big ones, and then there would be a list. But I'm not too sure about what the design's gonna be. I think there's just one more talk that someone pointed out on the website's channel that we could add for now, and then we'll discuss on the design when we have more talks to upload.
Yeah, so like I have already I have worked on it a bit. Like I will raise the PR. Like you can see if we could like extract some of that in the original website.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Yeah, so that's from my side, I guess.
Yep. Thanks, Shubham. Okay, so moving on. So I guess we should like this topic. I put in this topic because I thought Lee would be here. So I think all there's only one remaining PR for the handbook, which is the call out. That can wait until we can. So for the meanwhile, I think we can put in the handbook into the navigation in layer5.io because it's pretty much ready to go. Anita, do you think there's anything else that we need to add, or can we go ahead with putting handbook here?
I think it's about time we put it on the website. Every other change will be brought up subsequently if any suggestions come up. But for now, I think the handbook is good enough to put on the website.
Yeah, yeah. So I agree. I think yeah, we can go ahead with putting handbook on the website. Then okay. So moving on, I don't think Devupriya has joined the call. So we can just discuss what she has done. So now topics has been switched to resources, and Devupriya has added quite a number of articles that people can go through. I think Deepak has an outstanding PR on adding one of these articles. You do, right, Deepak? Is he on the call?
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, he said that he would not be able to speak.
Okay. No,
Might not be able to speak.
no. So yeah. So there are a number of more articles that we do need to add. So if there are any volunteers who would want to get some reading done and write a couple of these articles, please feel free to volunteer. Uh, yeah. So then let's move on to the next topic. Okay. So Deepak is not here. We can skip over him for now and then move on to the next topic. We'll skip over these topics and come back at the end then. So about updates on versioning. So I've done a couple of changes. There's only a little bit left to be done. So what right now, okay, I'll just share the code as well. So right now the format for docs which I have used here is I have created 5 different folders in which there are 5 different versions, and the latest version is in the docs folder itself. So basically each site has like a different URL, and it is getting built every time. Like all this has is like static HTML from the site file. So it's getting built individually and not together. I'll show you guys the preview as well. So this is so yeah, the main problem that I'm facing right now is when we use the latest version, all these links are getting repeated because all the folders are getting built together. So I need to figure out a way to remove this. And I have also changed the URL of the other pages. For example, I have version 3 running locally. So all the other versions are running fine, and the navigation is also working great. And another thing that there's needed to be figured out is GitHub Pages. So since we will have this in the master branch itself with separate folders having each version, so we would need to write down a workflow, I guess, for GitHub Pages to generate six different websites, so that we can navigate through each, and like each website would have a different URL. For now, for example, it would be docs.machinery.io would be the latest, and then there would be a version number beside it, but we would have to write down a workflow for that. So yeah, these are my updates. Does anyone want to say anything? And
Which
yeah, go ahead. Go on.
so my question was, which tool or framework did we decide upon to use for the version?
So yeah, we are going forward with Jekyll itself. So this is the Jekyll format only.
With Jekyll, they don't provide it by default, right?
No. So yeah, it's actually like a workaround that we are using.
So like we have individual pages or individual folders for each of the versions.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So like the other versioning tools that was being discussed earlier, won't either of that work?
Lee does not want to switch over to that. Actually, like we had a conversation about it. So problem with switching over will be that it would it would
No,
be
with Jekyll itself, but using some other uh, like some other tool or so. I think I'm not able to remember. Okay. I remember we would have to switch the template, right, to the
yeah.
DevOps also.
Uh,
In
there's
the DevOps
there's
also.
we created a repo as well. I think Aditya Krishna was working on it, but we are not sure if he still is. We were I think we were supposed to switch over to Docusaurus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
that has a whole lot of different challenges. So that
yeah,
would be
so yeah, it would be easier if we worked with something that was that supported versioning. So yeah, but I guess we'll work with this itself.
the only reason being it will cause issue in maintaining for like longer time, because then the repo will become long, big and big if
Uh,
we keep on
yeah,
adding
the
versions.
repo size is going to increase like by a lot actually. Because I'm still not completed, and I've already changed like 2200 files.
Okay, that's 4,56,000 files. Okay. Sorry, line. Okay.
Yeah,
Basically,
but
you have just recreated those files into another folder, right?
yeah. There are very minor changes, but most of it is like I have taken like a snapshot in time and put it into each folder, so that like since we don't have to go and change stuff in previous versions, so that's the easy way out. Like that's like me and Lee, we had a conversation on this, and I had taken another approach, but that would increase it by even more. So this is probably the easiest version out for now. And but we would probably have to switch over in the future, like you said, when we'll have more versions to come, we would have to switch it out, because we'll only have a limit of 1 GB for a repo. Right now it's just
So,
96 MB though.
okay, so one thing is, why are we adding a version for the whole site and not for only for some limited pages also?
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's what we are going to do, because we don't have a lot of major releases, right? So we can remove 1, 2, and 3 when the time comes. It's just for implementation right now.
So my question is, do we need the versioning for the complete site or just adding it for few of the pages?
Okay, yeah, we'll need it for the complete site in case we want to change like UI and UX for it. Like for example, Material UI 5. Have you seen the? So if we want to since there's only one includes file, like there's if we keep it global, then we won't be able to change the UI, right? Am I making sense, or am I saying something else?
Okay, so they are changing. So how are they changing? They are adding a page.
Yes, yeah. So there's a switcher over here,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes to like a different website. Like they
Okay,
don't use
okay, then
check.
it's sub-domain itself. Okay.
Yeah.
And what happens in case of clicking view all version?
Okay. Wait. I'll view all versions. Okay. Yeah. So it just shows all versions of 5, like the latest.
Okay, it shows the release notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a workaround that we could follow.
Yeah.
Like only keep the latest 2 or 3 in the list for the
Yeah.
rest of
Yeah.
the
Yeah. That's what we'll
everything all other
eventually have to do if we want to keep the repo size like contained. We won't be able to show all the versions because like generally technically nobody will be using version 0.1 or version 0.2, so there's no point keeping it there.
Okay, okay, cool.
Anybody else do you guys want to say anything? Okay, so I guess Deepak, would you be able to talk about what you wanted to discuss?
Yeah, I guess. Am I audible right now? Okay, so I'll share my screen. I actually went through some site reviews like 2 days back, and so took some screenshots, and like while I was reviewing stuff over there, so I came to know like the gap, like the padding of a year. The usually what the UI actually is like. We're supposed to keep the left margins and right margins to be equal in length. And so when I was reviewing all the sites, so what happened is there are different see but there's a noticeable difference between the white spaces. So this is something we need to like maintain so that like both the sides have the same margin and the content needs to be inside. Like over here we have this all books thing, right? So this icon, the button should align between these two columns which I designed, like the red column. So what I'm saying is, we need to align this over here and keep all the content between these two things. Also, if now I'm at it, so wanted to say now since we are talking about equal white spaces, then it should be equal white spaces here too. Like if you can see here, I'll use something like this, and there's a difference, right? So this is an uneven difference, which in general UI principle is like uh, we are supposed to avoid. So this and these two should also be the same. Am I making sense? Now I went to the second page. So over here, like this is I guess the main page of here. This is the machinery page. So I guess there's very little space here. So what I'm saying will not make much sense if I don't have a reference here. So I went through this Stripe site, like I went through the design docs like which we have. So there came to know about like initially we had references from Stripe and Strapi. So I went through the site. So now here you could observe like there's equal white space both the sides. This space and this space over here is the same, and all the content that they have a very fixed like this thing space. Like uh, there's a fixed space between these, and everything aligns itself between these two columns. This and the spaces at both the sides, and at every place is quite even. So this is followed throughout the site and at every place. There's now if I notice like if I'm going a bit deep, you notice this thing. The gap over here is the same gap over here and is the same gap over here. So every
Sorry to
side.
interrupt. Your screen is not visible.
Oh shit. Wait,
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was my screen that was frozen.
oh, so let,
Yeah, if you would just reshare.
yeah, I'll try to share it. One second. I guess it is my fantastic internet that is happening. One second. I'll share my. Is it visible now?
Yep, yep.
Yes, Deepak.
Okay. So, uh, so you could also. I have also posted the links on the chat because I was like, because I had the
Hello,
social network.
am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Yeah. Adit, is it visible? The screen is visible right
Yeah,
now?
yeah, yeah, the screen is working. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So, uh, so when I went to the side of Stripe, so everything was quite margined. Like everything had equal white spaces, and as a reference, like this place, everything has to have a fixed spacing. So this is what I wanted to say, and like uh, we need a side sheet. We need to think about white spaces in the entire Layer5 website and work towards it. Like keeping everything to a good margin because it looks great. And when I posted this, so I had good reviews from everybody. So wanted to know what you guys think about it.
One thing, Deepak, is is how many pages have you noticed this issue? Like, is it throughout the site or few of the secretary?
Uh, I uh, I guess I went through around four. I went through many different sites because the column thing is at every layer file site. So the column issue, this issue which I'm talking, this column issue is at every place, and and there are some minor white space issues and this thing. This is a bit not aligning. Like it needs to be in like this is the general UI, like what general UI people follow is everything, every content needs to be inside this virtual line that we have. So, so I guess this is this column issues at every site, and obviously when the this the first nav bar also needs to change. Like these these folks have to
Your
align
screen
themselves.
frozen again. Your screen's frozen.
Sorry.
Your screen's frozen again.
Aditya, can you like? I think I can stop sharing my screen because I kept my point and there's a link so you guys could like take reference from like what I meant to say and like Aditya, if you could share the one of the layer 5 websites, so I guess that would help because I don't think I'll be able to share because of my internet.
Yeah, I'll do that. So this is the link that you sent, right? And this is the website.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, so you were
So
talking about the spaces over here, right?
yeah, yep,
And
yep. And also the navbar because navbar is also not spaced equally.
so I guess if it's on every page, it's really good. Then we would have to like go through all and check if it's working or not. Like
Yep, yep.
you're talking about like this is too little white space, right?
Not this one, but there are different pages. Like if you could go to the machinery page,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. Now I guess you could see the last the last white column, the the extensible management name of the last.
Yeah, so I agree. Like we should be doing something about this. And yeah, so we should probably create an issue for the navbar. This is the first time I'm noticing that it's like the content is not in the middle of it. uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of towards the bottom. Okay. And which other page were you referring to? It was a books page, right? If I'm not wrong. Yeah, so this
Yeah, the other one was the service less patterns page.
says- yeah, so this
Yeah, so the all books button over there on the top, it has to come around the right side, like uh, the virtual line which we have, so that everything lies in the same column.
So actually, I want to say something that if we want to slightly make it to the left. So I think we have to align the whole content to be aligned to be slightly left, because that whole content is aligned with that nav bar in the text. If you can see the down ones. Like if we see that the layer 5 and the patterns both are in the
Mm-hmm.
same line. So if we want to equate the size at the both the sides at both left and right, so these
Mm-hmm.
patterns context this text and all the text the content below it. I think these all should be shifted towards the left for a bit, right?
Mm, uh, I think the good solution to this would be like we have to, most of the problem would be solved if we could solve uh, the top navbar part, because uh, the only thing is if we need to keep maintaining this thing, like the entire page and like have little work, then we could just shift the try mastery button and the other parts to a bit left, so that everything could align itself and we need not change a lot of things. But the thing is, we need to change the all books button, because in general sense, everything has to, the main focus, what I want to say is everything has to be inside the two lines, like inside the two vertical left and right columns, and the both the columns should have the equal spacing, and
Okay,
rest is.
okay. So means you want to say that for all the pages to be present there,
Mhm.
what initially is there that this layer 5L is actually aligned with the content. So we properly should make that navbar to be equally aligned at both left and right side before taking care of all the content present near below it, right?
Yeah, because if we change the nav bar, it could be much easier to align other content, because we need not do much thing. If we could move the try measure button to a bit left side, and other landscape projects and non-committee block to a bit left side, so it would automatically align itself, like the service really thing and book page, like the book page would align itself automatically. So I guess changing the number could solve it. But yeah, you put a good point, Akshay.
yeah, but still, like the all books would not be aligned, right? Like we cannot shift it that much, so we would have to shift the navigation a bit.
I didn't get you, Aditya.
Like this part, like you're saying that even the navigation here should be inside the
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
margin.
yeah,
So even like right now, if we could shift the layer 5 logo and the trimestry button and make it aligned, but I don't think we can shift it that much that we would be able to incorporate this inside the margin as well. So navigation would
the
have to be.
to be on the same page, what you are saying is we need to move the layer five button to a bit left side. Is that what it's saying?
That's what you were suggesting, right? For to get the margins right, like change it,
Mm-hmm.
change in the nav bar, right?
I think layer five wala part is correct,
Okay.
and we just need to move the part
Trimestry button
after
towards.
layers. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But would that be causing an issue in like a smaller screen? Like, would that? Okay, probably
I
not.
I think it won't cause, because uh, these are the general UI principle that everybody follows. So I guess it would like not be much of an issue for mobile screens. Because I also asked the question like Nikhil helped me with it. Like I wanted to know about the contribution part to the Figma design. So while I was reviewing, so uh, I I gave some looks to like what will happen. So yeah, I'm open to suggestions, and yeah, I think we could come up with something that could be good.
Nikhil, is this something we move forward with?
This is like, if it's a general practice considering the design aspects, then we should be looking into it. But the thing is, we can't move the logo Layer 5 more towards the left. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything about
Yeah,
it.
Deepak was suggesting to move the
Ah,
trimeshary button
to
towards
the
the,
left, to the left, right?
yeah, to the
So
left.
okay, the thing with try mystery button is it's a extra call out that we have. It's not part of the nav menu aspect. The nav menu are those 5 items that we have.
Mm.
Drive mystery
Mhm.
is a call out as compared to the nav items that we have. And that was the main reason for keeping it aside more towards the right side of the screen from the
Uh,
main nav bar that we have.
but trimestry button is in itself like people could figure out that it is something different. That is why it is it has some different color features and stuff. So uh, we could play with color over here so that we could distinguish between trimestry part because uh, yeah, this could be one of the solutions. I guess.
I doubt like if we make a color difference, then it would start looking ugly.
Yeah, like it won't go with the navbar then if we
Mm-hmm.
make difference.
Yeah, yeah. So that is what I was saying. Like I'll try some Figma designs and what things like how it is looking, and then we could discuss in another meeting or stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that would be great, I think, because this page should be on Figma. You'd be able to find it. Could you see how it would look if the like just try an experiment if the length here and the length here are equal?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How that look? Because yeah, it's true. If we incorporate this closer to the nav bar, it wouldn't look like something separate or like a call out. So we'd have to figure that out.
Yep, yeah, yeah. It could be that. Yeah, sure.
But I guess we could create an issue for this right now, like the distance over
Yeah,
here and here. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That would be good.
yeah. So Deepak, you can go ahead and create an issue on this. And also, this is also an issue. Like you see, this is getting highlighted even if I hover over here.
Oh, yeah.
So that is
hmm
also an issue. So if you'd like, could you
So
please go and create these?
yeah, so I'll create two different issues for this. Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, two different issues.
Okay, fine. Do
Uh,
that. Yeah.
Thank you, Deepak.
Mhm.
So is okay? He hasn't joined the call. So since we don't have any more topics to discuss, I'll talk about the
Oh,
machine.
okay. Am I audible?
Yep.
So I'm making some UI changes in SMP website. So should I present it?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, please.
Oh, is my screen visible?
Yep.
So what I thought is when I saw SMP website in uh, the mobile view, there was some misalignment in the content. The content was going on the left side, and it should be in the middle. Like I have already said in the issue that it should be in the middle like this. So I'm working on it, and it just need to be like given padding and all, and it will be just come to in middle.
Yep, sounds good.
So I have already created the issue and working on it.
All right. Cool. Sounds good. Thank you, Gulam. Anything else did you want to add to that?
So I'm finding some more issues, and if you want, I can work on other issues as well.
Okay. Yeah. So could I take over the sharing if you're done?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there's a call for volunteers to create the mesh map overview page on layer5.io. We are lacking in designs, so we need someone to come up with a design. Like, you guys could either try your hand at Figma and figure out a design first and then get your approval on it, or you can go ahead just writing it down, and then we, like, you guys could show it on our websites call later on. So
Can
this
you
is
please give overview about the mesh map? What exactly what we have to add in that page?
okay. So mesh map is basically a meshery plugin. Wait, I'll go to the Figma page and show you guys something. So it would basically have basic information about mesh map and a couple of patterns. Yeah, so we are also launching a beta program for mesh map. So this is the meshery Figma file that you guys can go through here and create a design over here itself, I guess. Yeah, giving insight on mesh map will be a little difficult for me. I think we have Abhishek. Do you want to give some insights on mesh map?
Hello, hi. Yeah, so I'm still not better. So okay. So mesh map is something where you can design your application. So distributed systems, right? So it does have a lot of containers, pods, then networks, then uh, some networks are flowing from pod A to pod B to pod C, and it just get messed away, right? So for that reason, mesh map provides a visual representation of all the distributed system you have in your cluster. So as you can see on the screen, so the green bars are like green circles are denoting the core components, like components that may be any node, any running pod, any daemon set, or something similar, right? And the lines that you're seeing are denoting the networks, like how which components are being connected to like which what other, right? So that is uh, mesh map, right? So here you can definitely design your system, you can visualize your system. So if you have your clusters running and you have multiple of it, so there is a visualizer in the mesh map where you can visualize and see like how things are flowing, right? So that is in abstract the concept of mesh map. So Aditya, just one question. So the new Figma design just you are talking about is it is for the website, or it is for the mesh map UI itself?
It's for the website. It's for a web page on layer5.io.
Okay, that's cool.
Just to give like a
So
brief introduction.
yeah, so that was very brief introduction, by the way. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep, I got it. Okay.
Got
So
it, me too.
we saw that there's some you want something like a tree or graph structure to be represented well for your in a website, so that you can visualize the all the systems and the dependencies going on while your service mesh is going on.
Yes. Other than that, you can take use of these already made designs, like these what is called it is called graph, right? So yeah, you can take use of it and paste it somewhere inside the website page. That will like look crazily good. So yeah.
There's a sample of some service mesh patterns on meshery.io. The URL is meshery.io/service mesh patterns. So these have, like, there are only 3 patterns here. These are something that you can incorporate on that page. Yeah. Thanks, Abhishek, for that. And okay, does anyone else want to share anything?
Yeah, I just want to ask if this is at the last topic, if you're asking for that. So I'm just ask about the issue, which is I think around 1 month ago, which is being put on the Meshri by Pankusto. It's I think issue number 581, where the Meshri website is requiring dark mode for the website. So it's still open or working or
No,
so
so
what?
there's a PR on that. Like, if you go to meshery.io and you check the pull request, the last one, this is that PR. It's on hold for now, but this has already incorporated that. Like, this is how the dark mode would look.
I think it's already being
Yeah, it's
resolved.
yeah, it has already been done. There should be a linked PR to that issue. If there isn't, we should link this one to it.
Okay. And the second one is that anything switch going on for the website one from switching to Ruby to Next.js, or some any other technology is being incorporated for the website?
No, not for the website, but for Meshery. That's what I was going to move on to. We are incorporating a Redux state management in Meshery UI. And we are upgrading to Material UI 5. So there is a branch open on GitHub where all of this is taking place. It's called Meshery UI restructuring branch. Nitish has taken the initiative to do so. And so if you would go to this branch and go to contributing, so here there's a contributing flow on how to add stuff to this branch itself, how to make it run locally. There are a couple of people who are working on a couple. So basically right now we just have to create some components, reusable components that we can use throughout Meshery UI. Some folks are working on getting these components out, and if you guys are interested in doing work around React, please feel free to just take up one of the empty components here and start working on them. I think, yeah, so this is the proposal. If anyone wants to go through the state management proposal, and it's all written in the minutes, if you guys want to go ahead and give it a read. And this is basically where we are tracking all the progress. So I think yeah, Rishabh is not on the call. Okay, cool. So yeah, so these are all basically React components. So if anyone here is interested in JavaScript or just React, you guys can try your hand at this.
I think I just want to ask, is there any restriction for the member in the third link in the progress tracker?
Sorry, in what?
Because I'm just asking, is there any restriction access for that progress tracker link?
Are you not being able to open it? No, there isn't. I don't think so.
Actually, I'm not able to open it.
Have you filled in the newcomers form?
No, I haven't filled the newcomers. I actually joined around 3 to 4 months before Meshri, and then I haven't actually filled it.
Okay. So I'll just share the. I'll share the newcomers form right now.
Okay, I think it's present on the all the calendar link which is being provided in the Meshri website in the community form.
Yeah, the community form. It should be there. I'll share it in chat if you haven't filled it. Yeah. So filling this should give you access to this spreadsheet.
Okay, and just want to ask a last question. You are asking to make a React component, right?
Yeah.
So do it also making to make the backend of that component as well for linking it with the Redux?
No.
Okay, so you only want UI of that component so that it can be clearly visible to in the website.
Yeah, it should basically be reusable. So like if you're making a prompt component, So people like that prompt component we should be able to use it throughout the UI. If you go through the branch, there are a couple of components here. UI. There are a couple of there's a folder called components. These has all the components that have been made. You can go through this and it'll be done in a similar way like this.
Okay, sure, got it.
Yep. Anybody else? Does anyone else have any questions or anything else they wanted to share? Okay, I guess not. So since we are done with all the topics, we'll call it a day today. Thank you all for coming. See you guys in some next calls or maybe next week. Bye, guys.
Okay.
Thank you all. Bye bye.
Bye everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.